Have you heard of Göbekli Tepe? It's this incredible archaeological site in Turkey that completely rewrote our history books. We're talking about massive, shaped stone pillars, intricately carved with animals, all built by hunter-gatherers over 11,000 years ago. That's 6,000 years before Stonehenge. For a long time, we thought people only started building massive structures after they invented farming and settled down. Göbekli Tepe proved us wrong. These ancient people, who we thought were just small nomadic bands, came together to create something monumental. But the question that has baffled archaeologists for decades is, why? What drove them to expend so much effort? The official theories suggest it was a temple, a place for rituals and feasts. The carvings on the pillars show foxes, boars, snakes, and birds. They're like a snapshot of the world these people lived in. But among all these beautiful and clear carvings, there's one that's different. It's a stone slab that's been broken, and on it there's a figure that has been intentionally and violently scratched out. It's not just faded by time. Someone took a tool and scraped away the image over and over again, as if trying to erase it not just from the stone, but from existence itself. What was this creature? Archaeologists have puzzled over it, but there are no clear answers. The damage is too severe. It's unlike any of the other animal carvings. It stands out because of the deliberate effort to destroy it. This has led to a fascinating and frankly unsettling theory. What if this carving depicted something that was forbidden? Something so terrifying or taboo that even creating its image was considered a dangerous act? Imagine a belief system where a picture could summon the real thing, and the only way to protect yourself was to obliterate the image. This is where the story takes a turn from archaeology into the realm of chilling local legends. For generations, people living in the region have whispered stories about the old hill. They talk about something ancient sleeping beneath it, something that was there long before the first stone was ever raised. They call it a watcher, a silent observer buried deep within the earth. These stories aren't just old wives' tales. They carry a specific eerie detail. The legends say that the great stone pillars weren't built to worship gods in the sky, but to act as a cage or a seal. They were meant to keep something down. Think about the sheer scale of Göbekli Tepe. Hundreds of people working for decades, quarrying and moving multi-ton pillars without wheels or domesticated animals. Why go to such lengths? What could possibly motivate that kind of monumental, generational effort? The idea of a temple is one thing, but the idea of a prison for an ancient, nameless entity? That adds a whole new layer of urgency and fear. The carvings of animals, then, might not have been just decorative. They could have been symbols of power, guardians meant to reinforce the seal, a spiritual fence against whatever was trapped below. And what about that scratched-out carving? If the pillars were part of a cage, maybe this carving was the one thing you should never, ever create. Perhaps it was a depiction of the prisoner itself. An image so potent that its mere existence weakened the cage. The person who scraped it away might not have been a vandal, but a guardian, frantically trying to repair a breach in the metaphysical defenses. They weren't destroying art. They were fighting for survival, trying to unsee and unmake something that should never have been seen or made. This is where things get even stranger. During the early days of the excavation, and even in more recent times, people who have spent the night near the site have reported incredibly vivid and disturbing dreams. It's a recurring theme. They dream of being watched. Not from the shadows or from a distance, but from below. They describe a sensation of a vast, ancient consciousness staring up at them, through the bedrock, through the layers of soil and sediment, through time itself. It's a feeling of being scrutinized by something impossibly old, something that has been waiting in the dark for millennia. Could this be a modern manifestation of the old legends? Or is it just the power of suggestion, our minds playing tricks on us in a place so ancient and mysterious? But the consistency of these reports is uncanny. The feeling of being observed from beneath the ground echoes the folklore of the buried watcher. It's as if the act of unearthing Göbekli Tepe is slowly waking something up. The archaeologist who discovered the site, Klaus Schmidt, famously said that the site was deliberately buried around 8000 BC. The creators of this place, after centuries of use, backfilled the entire complex, covering it with earth and stone, hiding it from the world. Why would they do that? Why would a civilization bury its most magnificent achievement? It's one of the biggest mysteries of Göbekli Tepe. Perhaps their work was done. Or perhaps the thing they were trying to contain was stirring. Maybe burying it was the final, desperate act of sealing it away for good. They couldn't risk leaving it exposed. They entombed their own sacred site, hoping it would be forgotten forever. And for 10,000 years it was. Until we came along with our shovels and brushes and started digging. So what is this nameless thing? The legends don't give it a name because to name something is to give it power. It's described only by its nature, a watcher, an ancient presence, something that predates humanity's own story. It wasn't a god to be worshipped, but a terror to be contained. This creature, if the legends and theories hold any water, would be older than agriculture, older than organized religion, older than the very concept of prayer. It would be a primordial force that early humans encountered and were so terrified of, they reorganized their entire society to build its prison. Imagine that for a moment. Humanity's first great architectural achievement wasn't a temple to the heavens, but a lock on a door to the abyss. The dawn of civilization wasn't marked by looking up at the stars in wonder, but by looking down at the ground in terror. Every pillar raised, every animal carved was another bar on the cage, and for thousands of years it worked. The watcher slept, but now we have uncovered it. We marvel at the artistry and the engineering, seeing it as a window into our distant past. But what if we've misunderstood its purpose entirely? What if we're not opening a window, but a cage? The scratched-out image remains the most potent symbol of this fear. It's a void in the historical record, a deliberate act of erasure. In a place where every carving tells a story, this one tells a story of something that must not be told. It's a warning etched in stone and then violently unetched. As archaeologists continue to uncover more of Göbekli Tepe, and it is estimated that 95% of it is still buried, we have to wonder what else we might find. More guardians, more seals? Or will we eventually find the center of the complex, the heart of the prison, and come face to face with the reason for all this fear? The story of Göbekli Tepe is far from over. It's a place that holds the secrets of our origins and maybe secrets of things far older. The next time you see pictures of those beautiful, mysterious pillars, remember the scratched-out stone, the local legends of the watcher, and the dreams of being observed from below. Maybe you'll see it not just as a temple, but as the most ancient and elaborate containment facility ever built. And maybe, just maybe, you'll hope that the seal holds. Thank you so much for watching. If you're fascinated by the mysteries of our ancient past, be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next deep dive into the unknown. What do you think is buried beneath Göbekli Tepe? Let me know your theories in the comments below. Stay curious and see you next time.